I feel like Orugio is like the opposite to Keyfree when it comes to magic, whereas Keyfree sees like sort of the magic in something and how it's special and it brings happiness and smiles to everybody. Orugio is going to be like sort of the practical use. He sees everything as a tool, really is what it is. Like he sees everything as a tool with magic. It goes to something, whereas Keyfree is all about the art, the beauty in it, that kind of stuff, the magic that is within the spells they're doing. But, I mean, technically, Keyfree still sees it as a tool. I mean, they're supposed to be all tools. They're things that make life easier. It's what they basically open the series with. They did it in this episode. It's used to cook, all that kind of stuff. But he sees a happiness in it, a smile that it brings to people, whereas Orugio is like, no, just stick to what it used. And I really did see a lot of that in that scene with Coco in his room, because it's around that tool. I like to see that that's the origin story. Like, literally, the whole start of this entire story is Orugio. He started everything in the fact that his spell sort of inspired Coco. It's what brought her that beauty of magic and made it feel like she could do it. He started all that stuff. But it's like, he goes over there, and he's like, yeah, it's this thing, it does this. It's, these two things that go together. It's a tool. Yeah, you see it? It's cool, right? And she's up there going, oh my gosh, this thing's so beautiful. It brought magic to me. Thank you so much. And bam, it hit him. Like, you could see that expression in him change, seeing how happy she is. It's like, suddenly he's like, oh wow, I brought her that happiness. Oh, this is just a tool. And she found that happiness in it. And again, it goes to the whole concept of here of not wanting to turn her in, is because now it'll rob her of that. I gave her, is that the key thing there? I gave her the love of this thing that she loves it so much, this outsider. And if I turn her in, they're going to steal that from her. Like, even he knows it. Now suddenly he's afraid of it. I love they show that door not close. I meant to go check, see if the manga had that as well, but like that hesitation to close the door. He left it open, he apologized, he didn't want her in there, but then suddenly he sees that his magic brings somebody happiness, and suddenly he doesn't want to close the door anymore. It's like, whatever, bug me, I don't care. Mr. Tsundere in here, acting like he doesn't want the girls to come in there and check out his cool little contraptions he makes and get inspired in some way. He's so Tsundere. It's a cool little introduction. I do like Orugio's character so far. The Watchman, the watchful eye of the Atelier. Curious about that whole thing there, which we'll get into in a minute. Let's get the episode proper again. Episode 6 of Which Had Atelier, opening up the episode. A brief little scene with Agot trying to train herself in magic. It seems like she has a test coming up, as we see later on. She's getting close to being able to do this one last test, and then she'll finally be able to go to the outside or work on the outside. That feels a little odd. I'm not sure if I assume that she's just trying to quickly get to a point. It seems like she's really trying to rush to the goal of trying to get to the end. So far, what we really know about her is that she has this kind of innate fear of magic, a respectable fear of magic, and she's trying to instill that upon Coco and trying to make Coco fail because she feels that Coco doesn't have that respect for magic. She feels like she's reckless and that she's going to get herself and potentially other people killed, so she's trying to show that to Coco. And so it's showing here where it seems like she's in a hurry to get somewhere. Hurry to get to the outside world and start working the outside world. Is it because she has to support a family? That could play into the idea, again, that my theory that potentially somebody in her family got hurt by magic. They might not be able to work, and so she's trying to get to the outside world and become a witch that can successfully make money or something like that. I don't know, we'll see. It seemed like she's in a massive hurry, and it kind of ends the episode with that and her wanting to rush to help Keyfree with the situation. I thought potentially it's going to be about the fact that there was a kid involved or something like that. There was going to be a trauma there, but no, she's just like outside work. That's all. It's like she just really badly want to work, and I'm sure that Keyfree's probably going to accept it, but it's like, okay, you're going to have to wait. It's plain and simple. But anyways, that aside. I like the little scene with Coco after this. Coco and Keyfree, and the fact that right here Coco's getting a little frustrated. It's odd that they didn't get a new pin. I mean, my assumption there is that after everything that happened with them, they went back to the Atelier. But it's like, why wouldn't you just stay there in the town and the next morning you can go get your pin? Like, the whole point of them coming there was to get the pin. Why suddenly decide we're not going to get the pin anymore? It seems a little odd, but yeah, she's a little frustrated with the fact that she can't draw very well unless she has a pigment stone, and yeah, she's gonna have to work through it. I like that there's a lot of doubt that she's having with herself right now, really coming down upon herself. I'm not succeeding. I need something. I'm not drawing right. No, stop. I gotta keep working. I love magic. There's nobody that loves magic more than me. I need to learn this. I need to figure this out. I like Keyfree coming here and sort of giving her a change of pace. I think that's really what happens here is Keyfree sees that she's struggling, that she's getting frustrated. We need a change of pace. And I do like the fact that he gives a very good lesson here in the idea of bringing her into the kitchen, getting her mind off the situation, say, hey, try something else. Let's just do something else. I got this stuff. Let's get rid of this. It's 2 years old. Here, have some soup. It's 2 years old. It's like the whole thing. If you like it, it's 2 years old. This magic that, like, that's a pretty cool magic. Something that preserves a soup. But yeah, wanting to redo this spell and cook up some new stuff and getting everybody together. Yeah, and the whole message here being the idea that, yeah, back in my past, when I first started learning magic, I was learning water magic because I hated water. I didn't want to touch water. So I wanted to learn how to control it so I can wash things without having to touch it. Very interesting. Which didn't realize until now, if he has a problem with water and doesn't like touching it, it seemed like as a fact here, he doesn't like to touch it. Yet, later on, when Orugio is trying to take away Coco, without hesitation, he's in there in the rain. He's in there getting soaked, trying to protect her. It's a pretty interesting little note there. Not sure if I'm overthinking that, but still an interesting thing to note. But again, I like this little message here of like, well, if you want to learn something, put it into practical use. Put it into your daily routine, something you're always doing. This is obviously something that I think anybody can attest to when it comes to having a specialty. That you'll notice that a lot of people don't understand the simple things about the profession that you're into, and they're things that you find very easy only because you do it on a regular basis. I was in computers for the longest time, and so there was a lot of simple things that I could see just by the idea of clicking on and looking at a screen is difficult for people, like elderly people that have never touched a computer. These are things that you do on a daily basis, so you assume it's like second nature, but it's difficult for people that don't do it on a regular basis. So adding it to your daily routine makes it easier to learn. So yeah, cooking. Hey, Coco, start cooking. Cook with the magic that you're using and do it daily, and it'll help you put it into practical use. So it's a cool little thing here. Everybody coming together and having a little fun, making food and everything like that. Eventually going out to eat together. I like it's raining out there. You can't go out there. Goes out there with a bubble. What are you talking about? We're witches. Beautiful shots. Beautiful shots. I love these shots in this whole scene right here. Just the scenery. The scenery was gorgeous. They had some great background art in this episode. My gosh, hats off to the background art. It's sad because it's something that you're like never always like focused on, but like the work that a lot of these background artists do for these series that really kind of, you don't want to really notice it because it's immersing you. It's just background, but they're just so gorgeous. Every now and then when they pan it and they show everything, it's like, oh my gosh, guys, you're doing such a great job. But yes, eventually they decide to go get Agot because she wants her to get involved with the little view they're going to get, which yes, we meet Orugio. I hate his name, by the way. I know it's probably some language, but I struggle with it. Orugio. I'm just going to call him Oldie from now on. Oldie. I'm done joking. Orugio. Yes, he runs into Orugio, and then Keyfree shows up. She immediately hides behind Keyfree. Says, "No, I'm apprentice to Keyfree." That sets the guy off. What I'm getting a sense here, and this is going to be good because I think Orugio is going to give us hopefully a little bit more insight into who Keyfree used to be. It seems to imply here with his reaction to this that this isn't good. And now, he does say that, yes, he's gotten apprentices before, and he thought Keyfree was finally settling down by getting apprentices. So this would be Tetia, Riche, and Agot. So he was happy about Keyfree getting those three apprentices because it made him feel like he was finally settling down, which implies to me that Orugio knows that Keyfree at some point wasn't settled down, that he was chasing after something, which, I mean, Alira was giving a little bit of a sense here as well there that, you know, he was out doing his own thing. My assumption is that Keyfree was trying to look into the brim caps, and he was getting some bad stuff or something like that, and eventually by giving up and taking in apprentices, that gave Orugio a sense that he was giving up on that stuff. But right here, yeah, he's like, why are you bringing another apprentice? You know, what are you doing that? Oh, it's different situation here. She's involved with forbidden magic, and that sets Orugio off. Is a question. I mean, at least Keyfree's being honest, right? But like, there's a sense here that Keyfree must have a lot of trust in Orugio because he's telling him this secret. Now, here's the odd thing, because Orugio's response here immediately is, I'm going to go tell the knights. I'm going to go tell the knights about the situation because, as we find out later on, the knights are this group that is always pretty much enacting the laws that were set. Now, this implies to me that Keyfree did not tell the higher-ups. In the previous episodes, I think it was literally the first episode, when Coco was first brought into the Atelier, it gave me a sense that he was communicating to somebody that gave the approval. So now I'm wondering who that was. If it wasn't the Watchtower, I'm guessing it's the Watchtower, and the Watchtower is the Watchtower is the name of it, right? The Great Hall. I'm sorry, the Great Hall. I thought the Great Hall was like sort of the headquarters of all the witches, and that the Knights Morales was going to be under them, or the military branch of the Great Hall. This gives me the sense that either Keyfree contacted the Great Hall, they approved it, and the Knights Morales is a separate group that is always, enforcing this, and they're just kind of overlooking it. There's a specific person within the Great Hall that Keyfree's talking to that is giving the approval to him that is not getting the overall approval of everybody in the Great Hall, which would include the Knights Morales, or that Keyfree's talking to somebody else. Keyfree's talking to somebody completely different. Now, everybody knows about Coco, so the Great Hall has to know. It boggles my mind that the Knights Morales doesn't know about this, because it feels like everybody knows about it. Like, the moment that Keyfree came back, Tetia and Riche knew about it. Now, they may have heard of a story of somebody that uses forbidden magic and just assumed that she got wiped. But, I don't know, it seems like there's an inconsistency about who knows what and who's talking to who. That hopefully gets cleared up here soon, but we'll see. Anyways, yes, Orugio immediately is like, all right, I'm taking her in. I'm going to turn her in because she's got to get her memory wiped. She used forbidden magic. Ain't going to happen. And yes, Keyfree stands up and says, I will fight anybody that tries to take her, including my good friend. So this obviously implies the bond that Keyfree has with Orugio, and how much means to him that he's going to keep Coco around, that he's willing to even fight him. But yeah, also implies, of course, the desire for Orugio to seemingly want to protect Keyfree. These people are friends. They're very close friends here. So it obviously shows a massive conflict between the two of them. But anyways, first we get an explanation of who Orugio is, which is the watchful eye of the Atelier. Which this is interesting because obviously with all the other cities and whatnot, they would of course have sort of a central protection and whatnot, an overseer, a group that, oversees everything there. Whereas, yes, individuals that would make an Atelier over here, like Keyfree, seemingly they need to have a watchful eye to look over them. Another witch that keeps an eye on it. Now, I'm curious about that. Is it simply a thing of, while the, Keyfree would be teaching the apprentices, the watchful eye would protect them? Or is it the person that would report on them? Because he says later on, I'm still watchful eye, I'm going to report it to the Great Hall if something happens. So it does imply that he is overseeing Keyfree. I don't know. It could be both. He's obviously not doing his job because he's not going to turn into Coco. But again, it goes back to, I think this guy is a close friend of Keyfree. And again, he's looking out for his well-being and that he's willing to look over this stuff. But yes, that's when we actually talk about the Knights Morales too. I like how Keyfree turns to Coco and is like, you're asking probably why they keep bringing up this Knights Morales and who the heck are they? And yes, they're being this group that essentially oversees this order that was made for moral spellcasting. The idea of enacting this pact that, nobody learns the secrets. They wipe out the memories, specifically saying no exceptions made. Now, again, that goes back to the whole idea that I think that Keyfree could be contacting the Great Hall. Somebody approved it there, whereas the Knights Morales is different. They don't take exceptions. They're not going to go, well, because she could possibly lead us to the caps, we're going to allow it. No, everybody. No chances. We take no chances, basically. They're the full-blooded, the dedicated ones. But the more interesting thing that was said here, and again, this is to Orugio, is that he is at fault for Coco. That he's seen that Coco loves magic more than anything else, and she's that dedication to her mother and to magic and everything. And because he screwed up, she's seen the secret, and thus it's his fault. And so for him, to, again, Orugio, if she gets her memory wiped, that's going to wipe out her love for magic, and I want mine wiped in return, because it's my fault. And that's obviously the reason why Orugio decides that he's not going to do anything about it. Yeah, the response to that statement obviously implies that Orugio cares for Keyfree a lot, and would not want Keyfree to lose his memories about magic, because he cares for him. So again, it shows a lot of conflict here that I really do like. But I will say this sort of does shift a lot of my mindset around Keyfree when it comes to Coco. Because I said before that I was a little bit conflicted when he talked to Alara and then later on talked to Agot and Tetia. That it felt like there was a difference in how he viewed the situation with Coco. It was a back and forth between, is he wanting Coco around because she is the key to getting to them, or is there something else involved? Is he caring about Coco at all? Or is it simply that she's a tool to get to this one point? And here it kind of gives me a feeling that there is a sense here of guilt. that part of this is guilt, that he feels responsible for Coco, her getting involved, and potentially also with the forbidden magic that she got a hold of. It kind of makes me wonder. Anyways, let's get to the scene with Coco walking into Orugio's room. Again, I thought this whole scene was great. Again, I like this kind of sign that it seems like Orugio sees every magic as a tool, whereas Coco views the tools that he made as sort of magical and something that inspired her. And eventually, seemingly, it kind of changes how he views magic. It seems like it could be the opening the door to him seeing magic changing for him. But yeah, walking in there, seeing the platforms and getting all excited about them. Ooh, these things, him showing it off and everything, her just kind of hugging it and thanking him. I love that. I love that statement to him that she's, this is special to me. When I seen these, when they lit up, it made it feel like magic was a part of me and that I cherished it so much. Even though, again, she acknowledges that memory is still something that was painful to her. Because again, she walked away from those platforms and suddenly the magic went away. It made her feel like, oh, no, I wasn't actually a witch. I lied to myself, basically. Mom was right. I never had magic. But it was still special. Again, it was what sparked that interest for her. It's what made her eventually want to become a magician, want to become a witch. It's beautiful to her. And again, I think that little connection there, realizing that he inspires something in Coco, really doesn't make him not want to turn her in, which I think is going to be an interesting conflict for him in the future. And again, I love how he leaves the door cracked. He's being so tsundere. He's like, oh, she liked my magic. I guess I'll leave the door open. Is cute. It's cute. But yeah, that's pretty much the episode. Really solid episode. Really enjoyed it. Beautiful, again, beautiful backgrounds. My gosh, that entire scene in the rain was so gorgeous. I absolutely loved it. But good stuff as always. But that's my thoughts on the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed this video as always. If you did, hit the like button down below. Until next time, y'all take care.